Hello everyone, I cleared out more, this is a cracking ass photos and stuff, so now I can get to 27 minutes. I'm sure if I did every photo we could get half an hour, and that's kind of the goal for the links of these talks. As always, I did bring a little shot, see what the fucking thing's able. I don't care, but hold on, there's a circus animal cookies. No. I'm gonna put down my phone a little bit here. So, it's currently June 25th, 2026, and it's at 8:09 a.m., not p.m., although I could do this at p.m. as well, and all that. I do want to shout out my friends, Jonathan and Elijah. You know who you guys are? You know what? What calorie is this? I was on 40. Oh, that's going to be processed as shit. Who cares? It's probably going to be the only thing I eat until like 1 o'clock today. Or 12. Maybe even 11. Point is, it's the only thing I'm eating until lunch, essentially. And I start working at 7:15 today. It is Thursday, by the way. If you check the date, you know it's Thursday, because I did this the 25th. Why wasn't I did the 25th. Why not the 26th? According to the weather data, there's a chance it's going to be raining all day. So, typically if it's only like 1, maybe 3 hours, I'll still walk because the chance it actually happens pretty fucking low. Or if it does happen, it's not for long. If it's all day, it's usually like intermittent between sprinkles to actually like heavy downpour. And I don't feel like wearing a jacket. I just don't feel like wearing a jacket now. Now, foot still hurts. And, as it is. Now, why is this cracked? I don't remember this being cracked. I got a cat to trust me. Every time I walk, I'd say 3 out of 4 times I walk, I see it. Pet it. I rub it with both my hands, and yes, I petted that cat, and now here I am an hour later eating food without washing my hands, and I'll keep real. Is it unsanitary? Fuck yeah, it is. Do I give a fuck? No. I mean, it's a cat that's outside. I'm rubbing its fur as long as it, I don't know. This could get me sick. It could. I'm surprised I didn't get sick when I walked, honestly. Started to. Just me though. A lot of cats here. This cat's near my house. There's actually a cat that lives at my house. That's an outside cat. Man, doesn't ever come in. We call it Hey Baby. So I guess just Baby is its name. We're very simple with names like that, though. Like we call, I had a dog named Roamed. We had a dog named Lady. We had a cat years ago named Spot, Princess. We stick to very simple names. We even had a sugar glider called Mew Mew. Stupid as that is. We also had a hamster, but I don't remember the name. Yeah, had quite a bit of pets. Oh, we had a husky too, but I forgot his name. He always lived in the back. Like, he wouldn't come to the kitchen like we'd call him. He wouldn't come. He was old when I gained consciousness, so that would be around when I'm 7. I think he lived until I was 9 or 10. I never really questioned where he went because I didn't see him die. He's obviously very dead because it's been like 12 years since I last saw him and he was old. I'm obviously we're not some super rich family that can just give the best shit to our dogs, our pets. Yep, as that is. We'll go do put this down real quick. Safely too, so I don't fucking drop it to the sled. I also bring food for another reason. So let me get this trash in my pocket real quick. I want to befriend a crow or a raven, any kind of smart bird. And all that. That's what I want to do. There's people mowing, so you're probably going to hear it potentially. And all them are like fucking once every other week. And every time I just fucking end up walking the day they mow. It's actually insane how many times it's happened now. But yeah. I'm very easy to inspire. Like, I have locations I think of, adventures, ideas, all this. And I know I share some of them with my friends and all that. But since we do DnD, I don't know if you know what DnD is, it's Dungeons & Dragons. That's a whole other thing I could talk about, but I'm not gonna worry about it. My DM does watch his videos as far as I know, and if I said anything wrong, he would probably shatter my kneecaps in a friendly, loving way of his. Mostly because I get stuff wrong or, all that stuff, and I know he doesn't really like it when you learn something and you get it wrong. I know he doesn't like that. Especially if you say it loud and with confidence, as if that's the truth. He especially does not like that. But anyway, like, on this walk, I've had at various locations already. I don't know if you guys can see it. You can't. Oh, you kind of can. At the very end, there's trees that are covering both sides of the path. I thought of a confrontation, like my friend, one of them. He has. Well, this goes back to the roleplay thing. He's also making stories. Well, a story on something called Eco and all that. And I thought of a confrontation between his character and another one of. Truck passed by. His character and another one of his characters. And all that. What time is it? Okay, I'm gonna start walking back now. I'll walk and talk. I'm an expert at it anyway. I'm a professional yapper. I was saying, get us out so I can put it this way. But, why do people keep removing poles from these? There's like a crossing here for vehicles, pedestrians, and the poles keep getting removed and all that. Saying, very easy to inspire, because I can look at something, think of a confrontation, or think of an event that happens there, and bam. For example, those trees cutting about things, there's going to be a lot of things coming up, so I'm probably going to be quiet. So, okay, he turned around. Give it a minute. So, I was saying, I think of confrontation like you have trees covering a pathway, so I'm thinking like you get a grove. Apple grove, mango grove, doesn't matter, it's a tree grove. You have it growing on both sides of a road. I know my friend has a character within the state that technically has this, so let me switch it up a little bit. Think of a pathway, stone pathway with oak trees surrounding both sides. It's sunny, very sunny. Think barely any clouds, except a few intermittent dots across the sky. And then, as you look down into this pathway with the trees, the sunlight's beaming through a few places and all that, right? And as it's beaming through, you see someone standing in the middle of the pathway staring at you, ready to throw down and all that. It's a very interesting thing, I might add. And then as a person staring at you and all that, and let me just quickly interject here. I can say Primogen if I want. I know some people call it Primogen. To me, I don't care. Right? It's one of those regional things. I heard Primogen first. I think Primogen makes a lot more sense than Primogen, but I digress. For the character standing in the trees and all that, hold on, I gotta think.
Jeff, you may know.
Morning. I was saying, as the Primogen is within the trees in the middle, standing on a pathway with sunlight beaming on them. And then comes my friend's other character, which is just it's a precursor race. I know he's thinking of names for it and all that right now. I know what the name he wants is, but it's copyrighted, so you know. I'm just going to call it precursor race. The precursor race guy, leader of Eco. He comes in, he walks, he sees the Primogen just standing there. At that point, he either engages the Primogen, who is definitely not fucking aura farming, or he leaves. What do you do? I know my friend's character would probably engage, because the precursor guy would win in that situation, and the Primogen's cracked, and all that. Or another scenario. A guy. Well, there's a bridge I walk across that goes across the road. I wouldn't say highway, but it's like one of the main transportation roads leading out of the city. So, technically it is leading to highways. What the fuck am I talking about? So imagine this. It's an overbridge of a road with like those guardrails, like those tall ones too. You'd have to climb, and it's kind of curved inside too. Imagine this. Someone is propped up with a sniper, right? I know my friend also has a character who uses a sniper as one of his things. He comes in, and he sets up on the bridge, camouflaged to look like it, with state-of-the-art state gear. He waits just to kill someone, and then eventually, well, I do a clapping sound, and that probably dropped my fucking phone. He shoots one time, kills his target driving a vehicle from top of the bridge. As he's driving by, the vehicle crashes into a ditch. Sniper gets up, he goes down, he checks the vehicle, sees if they're okay, and if they're alive, well, he just stabs them in the neck with a shard of glass, because guess what? Fuck you. That's how most stories are. Like, you kind of gotta abandon logic and reason to make most stories actually work and all that. And of course, it can be hard and all that. And there's another beautiful scene that everyone thinks of. My friend has of course, said the precursor guy. He sounds like the human who has some precursor DNA in him. He has a rows of fields, the precursor guy, at his estate. Very big fucking estate, mind you. And the state of Eco, as he leads, I definitely judge it personally for various reasons and all that. But imagine the rose field, a rose field, and you just have people doing duels on it. Like, how beautiful would that be to see? Fighting amongst the flowers with the sun glaring overhead. Or, I was just on this walk here. There were some crows. Yeah.
To talk to Cody, whatever. And
it was some crows that were on a tree. I looked at the tree, and the tree had like a wing. Like, think of a bird flying. That's what it looked like. So the first thing I thought of was, what if there is a character? Just an immediate idea. A character with massive wings, think like 20 to 30 feet, and they didn't even know about it. They come out at random. I know it's similar to one of my friend's ideas because he has a character that has wings, but comes unwillingly. This character, the wings only come out when they would be in danger. They don't know about it, and every time they see it, they get spooked because they think there's a angel of death behind them due to their beliefs. So they turn around quickly, and of course the wings go away. They keep turning around, panic. So eventually, they just collapse and they pass out. The person attacking them, whatever side name, was going to be very fucking confused at what they just saw. I'll probably just leave the guy alone, or woman. And then, yeah, that's done. One of my inspirations, I want to talk about DnD a little bit. Dungeons and Dragons, I know, I just said like 2 minutes ago. Hey, I don't do that because we mean there. Because the DM may be mad. Well, that's his stuff. My stuff. I have a character who's a Kenku. Bard Kenku, so you can come to conclusions on how the fuck that works with Mimicry. Each of the players got to design their own continent. Well, not own continent, more like the vagueness of it, but I went a little bit deeper into it than the others so far. My continent I based off of feudal Japan, if I'm being completely honest. A little bit different than that, actually. No, it's more like Europe. Medieval Europe, because there's households with names and preset territories. Each household has an unusual piece. My character, Tabik, he's a nobleman. His dad is also a nobleman, and his grandfather is the nobleman, the lord of the household. The grandfather is likely going to die by the time the campaign ends, just because how fucking old he is and all that, because he's already went past the expected lifespan of a Kenku, so, it's like any day now it can happen and all that. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Tabik one day, my character, got a letter saying, hey, your grandpa's dead. Grandfather is dead. Not grandpa. Slightly different ancestral line, if it was that way. But Tabik is, I forgot how many siblings I gave him. I'd have to look at like the paper, but I can't think right now. No, he wasn't meant to be the heir though. He had, I think it was 8 siblings. The oldest one was the heir. And he died. He was poisoned. Don't know by who though, because I kind of give it to my DM's discretion to make it between a few people, because I'll help build, but I also want to keep some stuff vague so even I can participate in the story and say like, yep, I already know who did it in my mind. And in that case, if I know it, I'm not the DM, so I'd have to stay out as a player if that was ever used as a fucking hook for the others. So I like keeping it vague like that. But for character, my Kenku Bard, his dad is the heir to the noble house. Tabik is the second heir to it. And of course, when the grandfather dies, likely by the end of the campaign, because I don't know how long it's going to go on for. It's going on for like almost 2 years now, I believe. In 2 months, it'll be 2 years, I believe. And
there was a gal.
I've been thinking. I know what Tabik looks like. I know what most of his siblings look like. I never did the oldest one because he died before the story even began, at least officially in the D&D world and all that. But I'm thinking, this might sound a little bit fucking edgy. The Kenku, his older brother, the only oldest one because Tabik's the second oldest in his family, at least amongst his siblings, which is why he's the heir. He, the older one, would likely have, of course, black feathers because he's a Kenku. For reference, the paladin, like every sibling encompasses a different class. You got a warlock with symbols of their god, deity, their deity etched into them. Patron, I should probably say. The paladin has white specked feathers, and so on and so forth, unique identifiers like that. For the older brother, I'm thinking, hey, what if he was a fighter, right? I think one of his siblings is, but I digress. Because there's only so many classes, then I don't have a monk, so at least not a monk sibling, I believe. But what if he is a Kenku with black feathers, and the very tips of them, like down the spine and along the arms, it was red-tipped feathers and all that. A very exotic look. You know, I don't know how my DM's gonna think. I've never told him how the character looks. I'm still thinking on it. So this would likely be the first time he'll be hearing of it is through this. Morning. But yeah, I'm thinking he's a fighter. He doesn't really wear anything. Well, he would wear some fancy because he's a nobleman. And now he's a nobleman, he would be the direct heir, potentially being the lord of the household. The household is the Wingson household because the last name, Kenku, at least the noble ones, is Wingson. And yes, I tried my absolute best to make every name in Tabik's direct bloodline a pun on something bird related, usually anatomy. Tabik, beak. His father's called Talonir, Talon. One of his siblings, if I'm correct, is called Peckin, peck, bird, some birds peck, and so on and so forth. There's also a Featherin, which obviously feather, because birds have feathers. So yeah, only like 2 of them I think I had to really reach to make it fit. Mostly because I had to use like a different meaning for something. I forgot what it was. Anyway, the older freaking sibling of Tabik, I said red-tipped feathers down the spine and arms. And probably, this is when they're young too. He died when they were young. I should point this out. It's very important that you guys know that he died young and all that. Like I think my character, Kenku, mature a little bit earlier than humans do. So I think Makaki is like when he was 12 or 13, he got poisoned and died. Right before he became an adult, by Kenku terms. Besides the feathers, which will likely be dye-tipped, because none of the ancestors in Tabik's lineage, because I went back to, you got the grandfather? I did the great-grandfather. Actually, it wouldn't be great-grandfather, it would be great-mother? Grandmother. Great-grandmother, that's who it would be. Since I have Tabik as the current blood. There's no children any of the kids have, so there's no passing down stuff. Then you got his father. Then you got his grandfather. Then you had the great-grandmother. Then you had the great-great-grandfather who founded the household, from what I remember, from my lore and all that. Is the great-great-grandfather who did it. And the great-grandmother killed her father, because he was kind of a damn tyrant, he was really brutal and all that to the other races. Like, he was a racist, I'm not gonna lie, a supremacist even. And then the great-grandmother gave birth to the grandfather, who's still leading the household, and the grandfather was alive when the great-grandfather got killed. I was like a baby. I was actually just born. So, technically, Tobique, and with the grandfather still alive, and the various wars that have happened, which range between the kobolds, the lizard folk, yeah, some things on continents called Horatio? Horus? Well, it's based off the Egyptian god Horus. That's what the name's based off of. Again, another bird-related one. The owlin, which is an owl-like species, is on the continent. The kinku, which is a raven/crow-like species, is on the continent. Because they're social, I'm assuming they're more leaning towards crow instead of raven, because ravens are more solitary than crows are, from what I know. You have the lizard folk. You have the kobolds, which lizard folk are just, like, if you know a dragonborn, think of a slim dragonborn who can swim better. That's what a lizard folk really is. A kobold's a tiny one, like basically the dwarfs of reptiles. Then you have the Aarakocra, which is all dandy and all that. And then, to top it all off, you also got the Fae. Why do I say the Fae? Technically they're elves, but the Fae Wilds does exist in this world. And it's not elves, it's the older ones. I forgot what they're called, but they speak Sylvian, which is the precursor language to the Elven language, what I know. We only got like 25 seconds left. The next talk should be Monday. Oh, it's going to be 90 degrees next week. Just thought I should mention that. That's going to be a bitch. Like, I was somewhat sweating at 80 degrees. 90 degrees is going to be a bitch. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this rambling. I'll do another one next week.